Hey, it's MK. I am back with another baby layout for this little series that we are doing. I believe I have about 5 more layouts to create with this, and then the album is done, and then I'll do a little flip through. So if you guys don't want to see the tutorial and you just want to see how it all comes together, I planned on doing that as well. Plus, I planned on doing it for the gal that that this is for, so that way she can see what it's like and say, oh my gosh, I don't like it at all. Anyways, I have most of the items all cut and trimmed out and ready to go because I'm going to spend a lot of time on the tutorial on this cut file from Cut to You by Gwen. And you guys seriously have to go check her stuff out. It is awesome. And I order like both. She has a pre-cut, and then she also has the digital files. And so I do both just because I can, and I think it's cool getting packages from overseas. So I have some of my cuts. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do the pocket page, so I have lots of the photo mats ready for all the pockets. So basically I just cut a 12 by 12 down to the photo sizes that I need, which is 4 of each, 4 by 6 and 3 by 4s. I did that for both pink and blue. So one side's gonna be blue, the other side's gonna be pink. I also have little embellishments for both pages. Basically what I did was I just duplicated a few from my Cricuts that I did. This is a grass border that I had, and then I just made it the size that I wanted. The length I didn't glue. I welded the pieces together to get the length that I wanted, and then I cut it down. No, that's not right. Holy cow. And I just did this like before I turned the camera on, so what a goof. I made it the size of the height I wanted it. Then I welded a whole bunch together till I got the length I wanted. Woo, that was hard. Same with the fence. I did the exact same thing. I knew what height I wanted, and so I just glued a bunch together. I didn't glue, I welded a bunch together to get the height I wanted. And this tree, in case you guys are wondering, this tree is from the Cheerful cartridge from Creative Memories. And I just made it the sizes that I wanted. So I have a whole bunch of sizes for the pockets because I can't go any higher than 4 inches and then any wider than 3. But I made a bunch of bigger ones for the actual layout. So I have 3 different sizes for the layout. All right. Let's get putting together. First thing I'm going to work on is this cut file, so that way it has time to dry. I did, however, put in like a question of whether or not I should use this wood grain or a different wood grain, and unanimously, I swear, it was like, holy cow, everybody said to do the white. But I thought that the wood, the green one, went really well with this, and I was originally going to just put it as an insert and have the insert be wood grain because I only have 2 sheets of this bug paper. And so then I thought about it, and a couple suggestions came in saying, oh, well, add a little bit of both on both layouts, and then you'll have a mix of both. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. But I was also searching for a pattern paper or a cardstock to go behind my big pieces here, my big photo mats. So I kind of mixed all the suggestions that came in, and I am very grateful for them all. But I'm going to do this first, and then I'll set out the layout and glue it all together for you guys. Because like I said, it's pretty much done, except for I have to do this cut file. I want to ink a little bit with my ink and pewter, just so everything kind of looks like it's blended in. And then what else did I want to do to this layout? Oh, because I only had 2 sheets of this, I kept one whole for the pocket pages because, again, I don't know where they're going to go, and I need some for the right side and some for the left side, so that this might all be used up for the pockets. And then I have a big strip for the left page and a big strip for the right page. So I may have to manipulate this large strip right here to get the rest of the pieces I need to go across. But I need to see if I even want that piece. So that's why I have not done that yet. So yes, I still have a little bit of cutting and a little bit of manipulating to do. But first, I wanted to take this piece of tissue paper. It's just a packaging that I get in the mail when I order intricate laser cut pieces. They sandwich them in between this uber thin tissue paper. And so that is what I'm going to back my cut file on Sew and Adventure in tissue, so that way the bug paper is kind of muted where this is going to go. I'm also going to change the color from white to this Altenew, they call it jet black, but when it dries, it's like a dark gray. So I am a-okay with that. In fact, I've been very happy with this. You can tell that it's it's like gooey. I do have a few things for you guys to do. I just didn't think you guys would want to see me cut all of this. Like, most of this was Cricut. I did pull out a punch for this. It is a Stampin' Up! Lace punch. That's what it looks like right there. And I think I'm ready to go. I don't have any embellishments picked out. I don't have anything. All I have is the main base pages, or the main base parts that I'm going to do. But I'm going to clear off my desk and get started on this cut file, because I have been dying to want to use this cut file. So I'm going to go and take this to my spray box, spray it with Jet Black ink by Altenew, and let it dry, and I'll be back and I'll back it with this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that on camera though, because it's just backing a cut file. Yeah. Anyways, I'll be back. All right, so I have my cut file sprayed and ready to go, and I was debating whether or not to cover the whole thing with the tissue over the spray just to lighten it up just even more, but that quickly went by. And I'm going to glue a little bit down, and then when I get to the E, I realize that I can't glue anymore, or I won't be able to cut out those teeny tiny little slivers. So I am just going to glue the A, the D, the V, the E down, and then cut them out and then glue back the rest of it. And ta-da, here it is, all ready to go. And then I'm going to take this shimmer print pen in charcoal and just go over all of the black to give it a little bit of sparkle. You guys really can't see it on camera. I tried to show it to you guys, but you can't see it. It's there, and it does do a big impact. It really, really does. I guess you'll have to take my word for it. All right, so now I went off camera. Well, actually, I recorded this whole process, you guys. I cannot believe how much I actually recorded of all this. But off camera, I went and I inked only the wood grain, and now I am just setting up the layout, whether or not I want the wood grain to go all the way across, because I did not make my cut files do all of that. And in the sketch, the design stops where the photo mats stop. And so I thought, okay, well then I'll just have it stop as well. Plus I really wanted this bug paper to be the one that stands out and not the wood grain. So after I lay it down, I fuss with this so much. And like I said, I recorded the whole thing. Unbelievable. I can't believe how much I recorded of all this. So I'm going to fuss with it. I'm going to place it around, get it to where I like it, and then I'm going to start to glue it down. The first thing that I'm going to start to do is, after I fuss and fuss some more, there we go. I knew I cut a bunch out. I fussed with it so bad, you guys. It was unbelievable. And this is on fast forward. Can you imagine how long it was going to be? So the first thing that I do, because I did make my wood grain a little bit tall, is I'm going to take this grass border and put it at the very bottom of the wood grain. My intention was actually to put it down below the wood grain, but by the time that I laid everything out, it was too tall. It just took up too much of
the layout never mind. You get it. You get it. So I'm just trying to figure out my placement. My trees are so high, so that's what's going to determine where my wood grain is based on how tall my trees are. And then I pull out my ruler. I still have not invested in a what's it called? A T-square ruler. Every time I think about it, I'm in a store that doesn't sell it. And I get home and I just never think about ordering it online. It's just one tool that I never think about getting online. So yeah, but this one works for me. It's been my try and true. I broke my first one. That was a miracle. I was devastated. I went to a crop and I broke my first clear ruler, and Close to My Heart does not sell these rulers anymore. I don't know why, but they need to. I really love this ruler, or that ruler. So once I get all this glued down, I'm using liquid glue on the little strips just because I don't like the little webbiness of my double-sided tape when I try to get it and it's not exactly the same thickness. So I give up and I just do the wood glue. Or not wood glue, liquid glue. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have no idea where my brain is today. So I'm gluing the trunks of the trees down only because I want to pop up my fence, and I want to make sure that those tree trunks are secured to the page, because there won't be anything glued on top of them. There might be a small little bit of it, but yeah. So I just glued the fence to the portion of the tree that is stuck to the one tree, because again, the tree, the fence, and the title will be all popped up on foam. So, and then I'm going to glue the title where it fits on the fence as well. And then I'm going to treat it all as one piece that is going to be popped up. But trust me, I'm not going to make you guys watch me put down every single little bit of foam, because I go into the cutting. Yep, right there. All right, hang on. Sorry about that. My puppy wanted out of the room. So I am going to use this other half of the tree on the other layout, on the other side of the layout. So that way nothing gets wasted, nothing gets, thrown away. Everything has a purpose. And the fence has now all foam on it. I do not make you guys watch me take all of those little bits of backing off. I did have to cut very, very thin pieces of foam to pop up the title, but I was okay with that. It's the look I was going for. So, and then I'm going to just fuss with the right side, and this one is bad. This one I fuss with, and I can't make up my marbles. Wow. I definitely cut out a lot of this. I can't decide whether or not I want that other piece of wood grain to go underneath that smaller photo mat. And that is what I'm trying to decide. And I'm trying to decide whether or not I have enough wood grain to cut out from behind those 4x6 photo mats in order for it to go all the way across. So, and trust me, it's just so bad. It's a lot of fussing and measuring and deciding whether or not I have the space. Do I count the lacy bits? I mean, honestly, it's a huge decision to make that kind of cut in a piece of paper. You don't think of it, but it is. It really is. So finally, I make that decision. Finally, I get around to measuring it. I mean, you guys, I can't tell you how much I sat there and figured out, okay, I have this much, and then I have this much, and then I have to go in this much, because I'm cutting it out of the center of this piece, and one wrong cut, and I no longer have the right piece for my layout. So yeah, it was a huge decision. I'm just saying, a very huge decision, but I needed it. It definitely did need it. So I'm basically just measuring it out. And before I make that cut again, measure 5 times before making that cut once. Isn't that what the saying always is? So now I'm just using my trimmer and following my marks, my pencil lines, to cut out and gut this piece of wood grain paper. Now, if I had a third piece of this paper, I definitely would not have done this. I definitely would have made all my cuts that I needed from every single one, and then I measured it again to make sure that it is correct. And I think if I was off just a hair, I don't think that anybody would have noticed, because then I would have been able to take my grass and kind of extend it a little bit more. If that makes any sense. I have no idea. But I really do enjoy having this little lacy bit. I really think that it brought the layout together. And it just made that side of the layout very, very girly just by adding that one little strip. But even if they mixed up the photos, had boy and the girl and them playing together, it still definitely would have been, it just made the layout. It finished off that wood portion of the layout. I don't know. I like it. So I'm gluing the grass onto the bottom of my piece because I am going to tuck this piece underneath. I did decide that I'm going to measure it from wood grain to the end of the piece and not count the lacy bit, because the lacy bit had holes in it. And when I didn't tuck the wood grain underneath all the way, it definitely showed through. I could see it, is one of the things. It was me. And why I did this, I don't know. I'm not really sure why I didn't just tuck this underneath and then cut it off with scissors. That blows me away on why I did that. But I've done stranger things. Just to let you guys know, I have done a lot more strange things. Sometimes I take the easy ride, and sometimes I do things the hard way. Just saying. So this one here, I thought I would put it at an angle, give it a little bit more of attention, just because I felt like on the left page there was a lot more, I don't know, there was a lot more attention drawn to the left page. And so I thought that twisting that one photo mat on the slide, it kind of gave it a little bit. So now I'm seeing how many pieces I need of this wood grain, and I went off camera and chopped it all up. And then I'm getting ready to do the pocket pages. And this is what the boys' pocket page will look like. There's my OCD right there. All the wood grain had to line up. Can you guys believe that? That's just terrible. So for one of the journaling pieces, I have all of these awesome stamps for making my own journaling squares or cards or whatever you guys want to call it. And so I die cut out some tags that I had from a Close to My Heart kit. And then this right here is a stamp that actually matches this tag. It's made to go on this tag. And so I'm just using my Stampin' Up! Stamp press to create the boy tag. And here is the design. It's from the notebook. It goes by so fast. I'm so sorry. But in case you guys are curious, it's from the notebook stamp. And then this one here was the exact width that I wanted, but this stamp does not go with this tag. In fact, this tag is from the exact same die set as the first tag that I just stamped on for the boy side. And this stamp set, I think it's from Something Noted. Anyways, I show you guys very briefly, but I had to clean it off the first time so I could reposition it and stamp it twice. I love this stamp press. And this one is just teeny tiny little dots going across. Oh, Year Noted. That's what it was called. It's the Year Noted. It was a special stamp from many, many years ago. Actually, probably just 4 or 5, but still, I like keeping stamps around like that have journaling lines, especially when they are not just a plain Jane line going all the way across. So I'm kind of just laying everything out. I have all of my photo placement cards ready and set. And now I'm going to just glue them all together. I wanted to make sure that it looked cohesive. I wanted to make sure that it looked like something that, went well together and matched to the other side as well. I have a bunch of leftover stickers from another project. That's what I'm using for the girl side. And then the boy side was a bunch of stickers that I found left over from actually a holiday project, but they were the right colors and they weren't very holiday-y. They just were kind of like one says fave and stuff like that. So I thought that they worked really, really well. I must be watching a show because I pause quite often. I just realized that. I apologize. So I'm inking the edge. I guess I could have cut this part out as well, but I'm just basically taking the same exact elements and trying to make them go all the way across. So that way what I used on the main pages are also used in the pocket pages. And then I want the pocket pages to look the same. So I have a tree and a fence for the boy side and a tree and a fence for the girl side. And then I will basically just trim all of these off and put one on one, one on in one pocket and one on the other pocket on the other side. So, but I'm just trying to make sure that I use the exact same elements, but also I don't want to make the boy side and then find out later that I ran out of supplies for the girl side. So that's why I do it this way. I know, long story short, wow. So now I'm just doing this little journaling card, and I had these little banners, the blue banners, kind of left over from another part of the layout that I just really didn't like how they looked, so I decided not to use them at all. But they worked really well on this layout because of the banner pieces that I found left over from the holiday set. So I thought that that was great. And again, this little sticker just says the word fave. So I like that. And the colors are just absolutely perfect. And unbelievable that I can fiddle fart. Oh, I get what I was doing. So when I cut the banner, it was like a wavy banner. But when I'm putting it on this little journaling spot, it doesn't look like a wave because I'm not using it all. So it kind of just looked weird and I needed to trim it up a little bit. So then I'm going to put the boys' last card together because the rest of them are just going to be photo spots. So this is the last card. I don't have any more grass because I used the pieces up top on the first card. That was my mistake, but I do have another one of the banners. I have a little bit more of this border strip left, which was actually just a zip strip that I had that I cut. It was in 1/2-inch strip and then I just cut it in quarter, and that's how I was able to get enough of that to go all the way across. And then I used my tiny heart punch to punch out some blue hearts. I just thought that it added so much to this layout. Or these little pocket cards. It's just that little tiny bit of blue that it needed. And then something looked crooked, so I pulled out my ruler. So there are the 3 cards for the boys, and then I'm going to put the 3 cards for the girls together. This one doesn't have as much fussying around on. It's just plain Jane, little simple, I don't know, cuts and sticks and all that stuff. I already did the upper card. I did that at the same time as the boy. And then I'm just kind of making the lower card look exactly the same. But instead I have these row of hearts instead of a little tag. I don't even know what that little boy one tag said, but that's okay. So I'm going to put these little row of hearts all the way across. And again, my OCD, I have to stop exactly at a heart. And then I have these little stickers that are kind of like labels that I just added there. So they could put a date or they could put their own little saying, something, or the park that they were at, something. And I thought I was going to use those arrows, but I decided not to. And then stuck them all into their pockets. I love how that looks. And now I'm going to bring out the pages. And again, I had nothing set up other than the Cricut cuts ready for it. And so basically I was checking to see if the layouts needed anything else, and this spot over here did. And luckily I have lots of these little pink heart borders and this little date stamp in case they wanted to put a date. They don't have to. It could just write, July or September, however that works. But that's it. These are the final photos. I know that was very, very long. I am impressed, or shocked, more like it, shocked that I actually recorded every step of the way. Oh, you could see the glitter on the title right there. Yay, go me. So here are the close-ups that I already said that, but that's okay. I'm saying it again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this process as much as I did. Come back for the next one. I know I said that I had 5 left, but I think I have more. I really do. And I hope you guys come back. Thanks.